Investment advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information that is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Joseph, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Joseph.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Rock My Finances. This is a great episode. This is for ladies in their 20s. Now, we might know if we're beyond 20, like me, 3 or 4 times, if we might know someone in their 20s. We might have someone in our family that's in our 20s, or our friends, children, wherever it is. So listen up, because this is great information and it might help you no matter what age you are. We are going to talk about the difference between budgeting and a spending plan. We're going to talk about the difference between goals and dreams, basically what's real and what's not. The biggest piece of all, we're going to talk today about your emotions around money and how it absolutely is driving your decisions. So first I want to say, keep on dreaming. Now, if you're my age, you're going to know what I say when I say, keep on trucking. That was a whole thing when I was growing up. Keep on trucking. Anyways, I want you to keep dreaming. Enjoy it. Do not worry about your bank account when you're dreaming. These are separate things, I promise you. Life is amazing. When you're in your 20s, you have the whole world at your feet. You have no idea what's going to be happening with your life. And I can tell you right now, it will change of what you think it's going to do. So all we can do is lay out the best plan possible and dream along the way. And when we accomplish different things, it might change our dreams. I'm giving you permission to change your dreams. At any time, at any moment, you can be on one trajectory and say, wait, you know what? This one's a little bit better. You might get a different job. You might meet a different person. Something tragedy might happen in your life and change you completely. It's okay. We are going to change, and we're going to give you permission to change. So don't stop breathing. And at the same time, we still have to live in reality with our numbers. We still have to be real within our spending. So I want you to be able to do both. I want you to have all your dreams. It's really fun to be able to dream and actually think what's out there. And I want you to have your goals as well. The difference is your goals are going to be clear. I want you to have concise goals that are attainable, that are reachable, that's something that you can actually accomplish, and something that you can take action on. You can put a behavior behind, either weekly, monthly, annually. It's something that we can project, we can forecast for, we can plan for, basically. But that's not taking away from your dreams. I want you to dream. Your dreams are daily. This is something I want you to do every single day. They can be bigger, like your small goal, to a big goal, a stretch goal, we call it as well. I want you to just be more open, be more expansive, and know that this is your vision of maybe who you're going to be or the lifestyle that you want. We always need to have a dream bucket, I promise you. Now, with social media out there, I know that it is helping you to dream big. It's also helping to have FOMO, fear of missing out, showing you a lifestyle that you might not have, that you would like to have. So I want you to be able to take all of those and put them in the dream bucket. Anything that you see that you might like, then we're going to dream about that. We're going to put that in our bucket. That's really, really good. Daydreaming is A-okay. Okay. So in fact, I think I'll do a whole episode on how we can actually use that as manifesting. So I also don't want you to completely be focused on just numbers, but we need to be aware of them, okay? So I want you to love your numbers. I want you to know what's happening. I want you to know what's happening with your money, with your spending. What are you spending it on? What do you want to spend it on? I don't want you just penny pinching for the sake of penny pinching. It can actually limit your abundance. But I want you to feel expanded and not restricted. So we're not going to be budgeting. We're going to create a spending plan, which helps us be responsible to money, right? It's going to tell money and the universe, hey, I got this. I'm responsible. I'm not overspending. I'm not going crazy on my credit cards. I'm respecting myself. I'm respecting my money. And yes, I want to know my numbers, but I also want to keep my dream bucket, and I want to make sure that we're feeling really good inside of our lives and that we allow more to come into our life. So at the end of the day, this is all going to come back to your relationship with money. When you feel good about money, when you trust yourself, when you have a clear picture of what you want, that again can change, but we at least want to start somewhere, then everything starts to shift. So why should we save? We're going to have some homework here. We've got lots of goodies to share with you. We've always heard save, 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 right? So why should we save? And do you feel wrong that you're not saving enough? We all do. No matter what age we are, we feel like we should have saved more, save enough. I can say that one of the tips is definitely saving early. So we're going to get you all dialed in now. So this is going to be your habits that you take throughout your life. When you're just figuring out everything for the first time, it feels scary. It feels the unknown, and it actually can feel kind of exciting too. So the truth is, it's not just about the numbers. It's about your behavior, your beliefs, and what you are taught or not taught growing up. So here's some homework. What was the theme around money in your household when you were growing up? Meaning my theme was work hard, make money, because my parents owned a business. We worked 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So it was always work hard, make money. How do you feel about money, or just how do you feel inside your body when the topic of money comes up? We want to be aware of that. So you're going to get a journal out and you're going to write all these things down. You might even think of some experiences that happened during that time. Then I want you to write a money from that child in your childhood. So I can remember money probably around 8 years old. And so I know that little girl who I was at 8 years old. I had a best friend, and she was one of 6. So they didn't have a whole lot of funds to be going to Orange Julius and to get pizza and to go bowling and, to do the fun stuff. So, and I was an only child growing up in my household. So my parents would always pay for her to come with me, which was amazing. I loved it and I really needed it. So that helped me feel really generous. It helped me feel really like that's just the way things are going to be. That's the way you should be. You should always be helping your friends come along with you to have a good time. So that's the lesson that I learned, one of the lessons. So as that little 8-year-old girl, write a letter to money. How does money make you feel? Well, for me at that time, money made me feel great, made me feel important. It made me feel fun, free. We had the best memories from money. It was great. Now, if you grew up in a childhood that we had, arguments around money, you could grow up and think that money means fear. Money means contentious. Money means arguments, right? It could be any of that. So we want to look at that. We want to write a letter. It could be good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. But I want you to see that because you're going to be surprised on what comes up. Then you're going to look at your current beliefs now. And you're going to say, okay, did that come from my childhood? Or did that come from me as a grown-ass adult woman right now saying, okay, this is what I believe in money. Like work hard, make money to me is not true anymore. I doubled my income, made the most money ever the year I didn't even hardly work. So work hard, make money is not accurate. However, put time in to become an expert in your field. Yeah, I've done that. And we can all do that, right? But it feels good because I love it. So that's different. So we want to look at our beliefs now compared to what they might have been at that 8-year-old child. And then the beliefs that we don't want, those are what we're going to work on. Most of us were taught save for a rainy day, but this doesn't mean This doesn't really motivate anyone. Like, I know I'm supposed to save. All it does is provide shame for us on what we're not doing better at. So I don't want you to think about saving money for a rainy day. That's just like some random future, an emergency that we don't even want. I want you to think of something different. When your friends are going to dinner, when you're planning a trip, or when you get invited to go for, like, I just got invited for a pickleball weekend. All of these things weren't in my budget at the moment or at my spending plan at the moment. So now I need to look at the fact, where's that coming from? Where's it happening? So that's my fun bucket, right? So we want to plan. So of course we're going to choose what we want to do in our life right now. So that doesn't mean that we're bad at saving. It doesn't mean that you're doing a bad job. It just means that it feels better spending now and in the moment. And we're always going to do what feels better, which is why we have to pay attention to our F word. How do we feel? We need to know how we feel all the time. So if your money doesn't have a purpose, then you will spend it every time. So when you need something real to save for, it's going to provide you peace of mind, independence. We're going to be able to travel. You're going to have options. And when your money has a purpose, saving becomes a choice, not a restriction. And I can tell you right now, this is the biggest thing I can tell you. Starting out with your financial career and your financial life and this amazing financial relationship. When you respect money and it respects you, that's great, but you got to respect yourself first and show money that you respect yourself first. And that's how we do it, is our spending plan. And we start saving for the things that we want to do ahead of time. If we have debt, we want to pay off our debt. That's exciting. Celebrate that. So when we have our spending plan, this is where our goals come in. It's very exciting, right? So I talk in buckets. So if you have a fun bucket, I want everyone to have a fun bucket, a travel bucket, maybe a birthday bucket. You like to celebrate your birthday. Maybe a gift bucket. You have friends that you like to give gifts to for their birthdays or something. You want to make sure you have enough money at that time. You want to have other goals. Maybe you want to take your beautiful mom out for Mother's Day, just saying, y'all. Maybe you want to go on a trip. These all need to be looked at. And this is where your dreaming comes in. You might want to buy a home. You might want to buy a second home. You might want to buy a car. You might want to do a lot of decorating inside your house. There's lots of things that we want to do. We all want a new wardrobe, right? That kind of always happens. So we want these different buckets to save for on our spending plan. I'm going to put my money here. I'm going to put my money here, and then I'm going to wait for that trip. So instead of standing in line at Starbucks buying a coffee, you might say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go home and make a coffee. My girlfriend, Debbie, we actually did a couple podcast episodes too. You can hear her. She's hilarious. So she came to visit, and I showed her my little coffee maker and my little frother, and she went to get coffee all the time. And so now she's like, I haven't gotten coffee since I left your house. I love my frother. So she's still happy with it, but she's just changing her way of life. Now she doesn't have to use her gas, her car, her miles, the money, all of that stuff. I'm not saying that she doesn't have it, just means she's choosing to put her money in a different place. You are at choice with your money. It's awesome. So I want you to be able to look at where you want your money to go and have another reason for it when you say, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to put my money someplace else. Also remembering you did not start from zero, y'all. You didn't walk into this body with your relationship with money. It was created for you, and you were shown how to deal with money in your childhood. The relationship with money was modeled for you growing up. So maybe money was tight. Maybe people avoided it. Maybe they spent too much. Maybe they did emotional spending. Maybe they lied and said, don't tell dad I bought this. That seems to be common around here. Or maybe no one planned about it, talked about it, discussed it. You didn't even know money was a thing. Whatever you saw, I promise you absorbed it. Your brain can never unthink a thought. Sorry, it's in there. It's in our amazing file cabinet. So if you are overspending on something, or if you are avoiding your numbers or feeling anxious, that did not come out of nowhere. That actually was learned behavior. And the great news is you get to change it as an adult that you are now. So you can look at your habits and ask, is this a habit that came from me? Or did I inherit this habit from my childhood? And was I shown this? Did I learn this? And do I want to keep it? This is where the shift starts right here. Do I believe in that? I still believe in working hard. Absolutely. I also believe in fun, joy, happiness. So yeah, I work hard. I say I'm a hard worker, but I love it. So it's not like you're thinking, right? I mean, I know some people that have 3, 4 jobs. They're working way hard. That's way more, manual labor and time than I would ever want to do. So you want to look at what you are willing to do. This means when we're tracking our spending, we're doing all of it, every dime. We're not going to guess on what's happening. How much do I think I spent on food? Oh, maybe 250, 350. Then you do your spending plan and you're only spending 180 versus you're doing your spending plan, you're doing 600. You don't know. So we just need to know. You're a data collector. That's it. When you're saving, you can either save your receipts, you can look at your credit card statements and your bank card statements, whatever's realistic for you. We need to go look at everything and we need to see what's happening. This is your money date. Yes. First thing you're going to do is get your money journal, start journaling, and you're going to create a money date in your calendar every week without fail. I do mine Friday nights or Sunday nights, depending on the week. I love it. We're going to have a good time on our money date, but this needs to be a priority. You're telling the universe, you're telling yourself that you are a priority and that your money is a priority. We're going to sit down. We're going to look at our numbers. No shame, no guilt, just awareness, because you cannot feel in control of money when you do not look at it. Think of it as just another relationship. If you have a good relationship with a friend or a lover, you're going to put time and energy into that relationship. You have to do the same with money, y'all. You just do. And here's why people get tripped up. Life costs more than what we think it is. It's never just dinner. It's dinner. It's dinner. It's dinner. And it's dinner plus tip and tax, right? So you got to add on to that. Maybe 1 drink, maybe 2. You might even have a third after dinner drink. Plus the Uber that gets you there or the gas that's spinning in your car. It's never just visiting a friend. It's visiting a friend with the welcome gift or the glass of wine or the bottle of wine. Now you have gas to get there as well. We have to take into consideration everything that goes around this in our spending plan so that we have real numbers. Is there bridge tolls? I know in California, a couple bridge tolls, that's 10, 15 bucks here and there. Like it adds up. So we need to look at everything. Also, look at your groceries. Where do you shop? Can you get a better deal? Be aware of where you're putting your money. These are real life details that can actually determine whether you feel in control or you feel constantly behind. So once you're tracking, the next step is to forecast. Do I want to continue spending money in this category? Do I like living like this? Or do I want to change? And let's be realistic. Most of us are going to change something, right? Which is great. So then we're going to put that in our spending plan. Then we're going to set up some simple ground rules. We want to set goals within our world that we have, not to be perfect, but just to have something to shoot for. We want to get out of debt if we're in debt. We don't want to have debt besides I use my credit cards for points or an emergency, right? Not just for extra money in your household because the debt will eat you alive. So either emergencies or for points, something like that. And yes, we need to save something every month. That is your goal. Your goal is to be debt-free, living within your means, and saving on a monthly basis, even if it's small to begin with. But again, we can't just save for no reason. So you have to have a reason. That's why we spend so much time in our money date to find out where you want to go. What do you want to do? Where do you really want to spend your money in? That's what everything changes is when you look at everything. So you don't have to necessarily skip dinner if you're looking at your bank account or whatever, but you might want to say, you know what, I'm going to go next week instead of this week. And it's going to bring you peace of mind. It's going to bring you a freedom that you just can't get from anywhere else. And you get to say, what do I want my money to do for me? What brings you peace of mind? What brings you clarity? What brings you control? What feels good to you? So check in with your body, check in with yourself. How do I feel about this? Like a gift giving. Are you a huge gift giver or a small gift giver? Are you a once a year gift giver or are you constantly taking gifts to someone? Does that light you up? If you get love, if you feel love, your love language, if that is gift giving, then that's going to be something inside your forecasting spending plan. If you're like me and I'm frugal Fanny here, I love a good deal. So my shopping might be different than your shopping because I love a good bargain. Now, am I going to drive around all day for it? No. My time's also precious. So once we look at our spending plan, we see where all our money is going. Is your values showing up where you're spending your money? I love that. What do we value? Well, that's a good time to start looking at our values. Is it showing up in our money? Put your money where your values are. It feels really good at the end of the day. So we're going to start simple. We're going to start with our weekly money date. We're going to be looking at our numbers, not for judgment, just for data. And then we're going to ask our questions. What do I want my money to do for me? Because once we answer that, everything else starts to fall in place. And what I kind of learned about myself is, am I more worried about what people think about me? Like clothes, cars, purses, shoes, whatever. Am I worried about how I'm showing up somewhere? Or am I worried about how I am being and how I feel when I'm dealing with money and how do I feel when I'm showing up in the world? So this is a great chance for you to look at, who am I? And who am I being when I walk into the door? I want you to care about that inside more than you care about what do they think of me. I hope you're getting that from this wonderful episode of what do I do in my 20s and what are people not talking about? So we're talking about your relationship with money, to step it out and make sure that you're loving your relationship with money so that you can absolutely manifest the abundance life that you totally deserve. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I want you to be able to walk away with it and say, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.